What is up? I was not about to film this video, and then I thought, you know what? I just wanted to just hang out with you guys and not even try to like make a video. I just wanted to connect, and so here I am. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. And if you're returning, I'm so grateful to you as well. All right, so I basically had this vision in my mind's eye. And it happened, I don't even remember the exact moment it happened. It happened sometime between last night, late last night, and early this afternoon. So it's very odd that I can't exactly remember when it happened, but I sure remember what I saw. So I basically saw a huge pendulum swinging. And it was behind the veil over our earth realm, over this matrix. The pendulum was shaped as a sickle, Saturn sickle. The pendulum felt very rhythmic, and it was definitely emanating and receiving. So it was just this powerful force. And when I saw this pendulum, I saw it on a collective level. What it does on a collective level, it's hypnotizing humanity. So it's what induces the hypnotic state. Just like a psychiatrist would in the old days, right? Like the old school psychiatrist with the watch. And this pendulum is symbolic of Saturn, as I was saying. And Saturn goes by many names. So Saturn goes by Chronos, time. Saturn goes by Satan. Saturn's sickle is represented in the Grim Reaper because Saturn is time, age, death. That false construct that was designed by Saturn. Saturn is known by the Gnostic texts as Yaldabaoth. And Yaldabaoth is pretty much the creator of all of these illusions. And so that force is very strong. Of course it is, right? But it's so funny because we always have a choice. And I know you know this, but something that's been coming up too, something that's been coming up in my mind. I recently watched Star Wars. I watched 3 of them. I watched the ones, okay, not the old school ones with Harrison Ford, the ones with Natalie Portman. So I watched those three. And there is a quote that Master Yoda said, and it was, "Fear is a path to the dark." Hold on, I'll actually pull it up right now because I don't want to say it wrong. Fear is a path to darkness. Yeah, let's see. He said, Master Yoda. He said, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. But the part that I've been kind of going over, the part that's been coming up for me is fear is the path to the dark side. And as a soul warrior, which I know you are if you're watching this, and I know I am, fear is what allows us to freely surrender our soul warrior capabilities. It's like all of a sudden you give into fear and your armor, your divine armor is stripped away from you. And you're saying, here, take it. Take my power. Take my protection. Take my divinity. And if you practice mindfulness, if you if you are, you know, self-inquiring, and if you are doing your shadow work, if you are really on your mission to expand your consciousness, then I have no doubt that you are also very aware of, you know, your thoughts. And you become very aware of which thoughts are yours, which thoughts are your father's thoughts, which thoughts are your mother's thoughts, which thoughts are the collective thoughts, which thoughts are an external entity trying to get up in your mind, right? So we become very aware of what's going on, what's playing in the mind. And so if I have a thought that is fear-based, typically I will get a red flag immediately. And it's so awesome because I'm so glad I watched the movie, because as soon as I have a fear-based thought that comes up, I automatically hear the quote, "Fear is a path to the dark side." I do not consent to that. So be advised, this serves as a reminder, never allow your power. Do not give up your power so freely. Do not give up your sovereignty to a tactic that is not real. When you are having fear-based thoughts and going along the pendulum, the sickle swinging over humanity's consciousness, you give up your magic. You fracture your soul, and you dim your spirit, you dim your light. And even a thought counts. And so that's why I'm telling you, actions, thoughts, and lack of actions, because a lot of people don't follow through with things because of fear. They don't like change because of fear. They are afraid to, you know, their ego will take hold right when they're about to level up. And with the ego and the sickle going from everything's okay, everything's fine, look at humanity's going about, to bam, here, take this. Here's a war, here's disease, here's famine, here's, you know, all of this. If you're in that loop, so the sickle is not only keeping the collective in a hypnotic trance, in a hypnotic state, according to what they're waving around and according to what they're purging to the masses, but it's also the loop. It's what keeps humanity in one of the loops. So when you give in to any fear-based thoughts, you're consenting to the dark side. So just as a reminder, you know, seeing this was a symbolic, it's like a symbolic meaning. It's not literally a pendulum swinging, but it's symbolic. And, you know, I just want you to remember that even a thought is so powerful, and even a fear-based thought is consenting. Do not run away from your thoughts necessarily. I'm not saying to avoid something that's not pleasant, but you need to become very aware of what's coming out, like what you're processing internally when you're not conscious. You need to have more moments of being aware and conscious, because it's very easy to fall into a place where you start to feel comfortable in that darkness. And as someone who, you know, teaches about shadow work and helps guide people through their shadows, listen, I know how it is. I know that sometimes we might linger in the shadows too long. So I get it. There is a fine balance, but all of that doesn't fucking matter. Okay? I'm not going to dissect this into a million pieces. I just want you to remember, don't surrender your power. And it can be raining cats and dogs. It can be raining bricks. It will not be surprised with shit. This Matrix. You can't surprise us because we know what they're capable of projecting out. But ultimately, we know our power. And we are so powerful that that's the only reason why they're trying so hard to keep up this crazy shit they have going on everywhere. So I'm smiling about it now because I'm just comfortable chilling right now. I'm just literally hanging out. But there's other times where I'm a very intense person as well, you know? So wherever you're at right now, however you're processing everything, just remember, you're not susceptible to their tactics if you do not consent to fear. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Something else to bring up, I'm going to be changing the name of this channel. It's no longer going to be called The Spiritual Hangout because we're leveling up here. We're not just hanging out anymore. I mean, I'm hanging out with you now, which is kind of weird that I'm saying that, but I'm changing the channel name. It's still going to be with Damai. So I will be announcing that change shortly. I'm doing the whole process of doing the logo and all of that. Luckily, I do some graphics and stuff, so I have experience with all of that, but it's tiring. It's pretty tiring to really birth this when you're doing everything. So I'm taking my time, but the decision has been made. I made it late last week. So it's been a few days and I'm very excited. I do actually have a name, but I'm not going to share it with you guys. I'm going to keep it a secret till I reveal it. Also, I am having a summer solstice ritual that I'm going to be hosting with my sister. She's literally my sister, my blood sister, Wendy. And she's a sound healer. So she has dozens of instruments. And so I'm going to be leading a ritual, which we're all going to be doing live. I'm an instructor at the School of Mysticism, so I'm going to be hosting it there. All the details are coming shortly. You can use a link below to give me your email so you can get updated on it. Tickets are going to be up for sale soon. It's going to be a really, reasonable price. It's going to be a beautiful ritual to bring in the summer, and we're gonna do a ritual together. So it's gonna be very powerful. And we're gonna have the shamanic drums, we're gonna have the sound healing bowls, we're gonna have everything. And it's gonna be an experience. So details are coming for that shortly as well. And check out the links below. Thank you for watching the video if you're still here. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Go ahead, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Saturn came into my vision, and it just reminded me that I am capable of being fearless as long as I remain conscious of my power. So may you do the same. Sending you lots of love.